Curanderismo, how Mexican-American folk medicine is important for modern healthcare. Curanderismo is an important healthcare system and religion in Mexican-American communities. It addresses both the physical and metaphysical illnesses. Curanderos or As can be male or female and utilize traditional herbal remedies. The word curar means to heal in Spanish, and that is what Curanderismo is all about. It addresses emotional trauma as well as spiritual balance without any language barriers. And this is just some of the reasons why these practices are important for their cultural community. In this presentation, I will be talking about how this folk medicine can apply to modern healthcare in both negative and positive ways. Curanderismo has only an oral history where the medicinal recipes were passed down generation to generation. It dates back to the Spanish conquest of the Americas, where Spanish, Catholic, Moorish, traditional Chinese, and other religions melded together. Curanderismo is extremely syncretic and uses many symbols that overlap with other cultures. In today's day and age, conventional religion has been losing popularity, while alternative medicines are more popular than ever. Alternative or folk medicine is a type of health care system that takes homeopathic natural healing rituals and applies them to modern illnesses. This is extremely important because conventional healthcare makes you feel like a number in the machine where they prescribe pills for just about everything. Curanderos' holistic approach to medicine is important in giving everyone access to healthcare. Curanderos are the healers and practitioners of curanderismo, and there are 5 main types: herbalists, bone therapists, midwives, massagers, and witches, also known as brujas. Each will evaluate their patient's emotional state, spiritual balance, physical ailments, and then decide on a set of rituals to cure them. They will also analyze if your spirit has been touched with dark magic or been cursed by a bruja. Curanderismo is a cost-effective way for healing different ailments. People can grow their own medicines. There's also a cultural importance in seeing curanderos. They have been around for hundreds of years and help keep your spirit in good balance. More importantly, though, it's important for people receiving healthcare to get healthcare in their first language. Language barriers can be a huge issue for people not receiving the right treatment or able to express their pain properly. So, curanderismo is important for many cultural levels. The Codex Badiano is a translation of Libellus de Medicalibus Indorum Herbis, which is Latin for Little Book of Medicinal Herbs of the Indians. It was a scientific account of hundreds of medicinal herbs, and one of the first we have on record. Curanderismo adopted many of these medicinal herbs and rituals into its practices. It talks about how the medical properties of root and flower are important. Herbal remedies play a huge role in the effectiveness and popularity of curanderismo. Aloe vera is a great example of a plant that we've been using since 333 BCE for its herbal remedies. This plant has played a huge role in healing throughout history because it can be used for every level of healing. It heals physical ailments like cuts, burns, rashes, and wrinkles. Then, it can also be used for stomach disorders. But more importantly, people believe it to harbor good energy and increase balance of the spirit. Damiana, on the other hand, is a lesser-known medical flower. It is a flower that can be dried and brewed into teas or smoked. It can help with anxiety, asthma, headaches, upset stomach, and might decrease blood sugar to help with diabetes. Chamomile and manzanilla and rosemary are household tea names. Chamomile is somewhat well known for helping with fever, headaches, insomnia, and nausea, while rosemary can help enhance your memory and help with blood circulation. They both can be considered anti-inflammatory and can be used together or separately. You can even receive some benefits of each plant just by smelling them. Aceite de víbora, snake oil. Snake oil is an ancient Chinese practice of extracting fat from a Chinese water snake and using it medicinally. This is an ancient practice and is widely used as a painkiller by many. It's mainly used for aches and pains, especially for arthritis. However, it has magical properties too and can alleviate bad energy and even stop a gossiper. It is said that if you drop 1 drop for each letter of the gossiper's name in a letter and then burn it, it will stop the gossiper. This is one way to keep your spirit in balance. Bless Me Ultima is a novel by Rudolf Anaya, and it's a classic coming-of-age novel of a young boy starting an apprenticeship with a powerful curandera. Anaya's work, a cultural classic, is still important for depicting Chicano culture in the 1940s. The main character goes through a spiritual awakening, being skeptical of magic of Curanderismo at first. Once he realizes how real it can be, he even starts questioning his Catholic background. I think it's important because many people believe alternative medicines are the thing of the past. This book was set in the 1940s, but it's still very applicable, especially where many Spanish communities are still becoming, um, especially where Spanish communities are becoming the majority, but are still underrepresented in healthcare. Hummingbird's Daughter. There are many magical aspects in Bless Me Ultima, but in Hummingbird's Daughter, magic is real. A novel loosely based on historical events written by Luis Alberto Urrea is a story about Teresita, who is supposed to be Urrea's great aunt. Teresita, who's later known as the Saint of Cabora, was the bastard child of a rich man and was severely mistreated. Through her hardships and her sexual assault, she started having visions and gained fame for her healing powers. She could heal the sick and was a well-known curandera of Mexico. Her powers came from hardship, and even if they were exaggerated, she really connected with her patients on a spiritual and emotional level. There are many problems with modern healthcare. For many people, a trip to the doctor is not only expensive, but there is no relationship between patient and doctor. You are just a number in the machine, waiting to get treated with various pills that may or may not do more damage. This is the dilemma with treatments of modern healthcare. Curanderismo is vital for healthcare among Latino communities, especially ones with low income. It is important for these communities because many people don't have access to good healthcare or are discriminated against within the system. Curanderismo is all about harmonious balance between spirits, emotional, and physical state of being. However, there are two main problems within the community. The first is discrimination within healthcare. Curanderismo is especially great for mental health care, but the government actually uses it as an excuse to give Hispanic communities less healthcare opportunities. Yes, Curanderismo is great and has the potential of healing many illnesses. However, there are times when one's mental health or physical health may need Western medicine. They are often used in conjunction with each other, and to deny people healthcare is an absolute outrage. Curanderismo doesn't have remedies for something that would need a surgery, for example. In this day and age, you would still need to use both types of medicine. The second problem is the lack of interest. Younger generations are not as interested in learning the rituals, practices, and use of medicinal herbs in modern times. Bless Me Ultima exemplifies this because Bless Me Ultima exemplifies this because it shows how the young boy was skeptical at first and was very wary of Ultima's powers. It has a vast oral history that the young people are not willing to listen to. Learning about medicinal herbs is easy, but is important because some herbs can be harmful in large quantities. If young people do not maintain these rituals, a lot of rituals will die out with the elders and be forgotten. So how can you help? Medicinal herbs and folk medicines overlap in many different cultures, but it is important to do your homework. Anything can be bad for you in excess, and this presentation is not an excuse to start doing random medicines or psychedelics. Interest in curanderismo is always appreciated, but most curanderos know the exact amounts of medicines and how they interact with each other. Hopefully, folk medicines can play a bigger role in conventional medicine in the future, and all people have access to health care that they need and deserve. I would hope that people would take the time to listen to their family's traditions and rituals. It is important to respect all people and their beliefs. There are many aspects of curanderismo and other types of alternative medicines that seem too magical to be real. However, there are many people who truly believe in these superstitions, spirits, and remedies. So it is important to never put down someone else's beliefs. Hopefully you guys found this presentation interesting, and I hope to learn more about medicinal plants in the future.